Hello, this is Mr. Frizellis, and I will be reading The Man Who Was Also Almost a Man by Richard Wright. Dave struck out across the fields, looking homeward through parting light. What's the use talking with them niggers in the field? Anyhow, his mother was putting supper on the table. Them niggers can't understand nothing. One of these days, he was going to get a gun and practice shooting. Then they couldn't talk to him as though he were a little boy. He slowed, looking at the ground. Shucks, I ain't scared of them, even if they are big of me. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go by old Joe's store and get that Sears Roebuck catalog and look at them guns. Maybe Ma will let me buy one of them when she gets my pay from old man Hawkins. I'm a beggar to give me some money. I'm old enough to have a gun. I'm 17, almost a man. He strode, feeling his long, loose jointed limbs. Shucks, a man ought to have a little gun after he done worked hard all day. He came in sight of Joe's store. A yellow lantern glowed on the front porch. He mounted steps and went through the screen door, hearing it bang behind him. There was a strong smell of coal oil and mackerel fish. He felt very confident until he saw Fat Joe walking through the rear door. Then his courage began to ooze. Howdy, Dave. What you want? How you, Mr. Joe? I don't want to buy nothing. I just wanted to see if you'd let me look at the catalog a while. Sure. You want to see it here? Nah, sir. I want to take it home with me. I'll bring it back tomorrow when I come in from the fields. You planning on buying something? Yes, sir. Your ma letting you have your own money now? Shucks, Mr. Joe. I'm getting to be a man like anybody else. Joe laughed and wiped his greasy white face with a red bandana. What you planning on buying? Dave looked at the floor, scratched his head, scratched his thigh, and smiled. Then he looked up shyly. Uh, I'll tell you, Mr. Joe, if you promise you won't tell. I promise. Well, I'm gonna buy a gun. A gun? What you want with a gun? I want to keep it. You ain't nothing but a boy. You don't need a gun. Oh, let me have the catalog, Mr. Joe. I'll bring it back. Joe walked through the rear door. Dave was elated. He looked around at the barrels of sugar and flour. He heard Joe coming back. He craned his neck to see if he were bringing out the book. Yeah, he's got it. God, dog, he's got it. Here. But be sure you bring it back. It's the only one I got. Show, Mr. Joe. Say, if you want to buy a gun, why don't you buy one from me? I got a gun to sell. Will it shoot? Sure, it'll shoot. What kind is it? Oh, it's kind of old. A left-hand wheeler, a pistol, a big one. Is it got bullets in it? It's loaded. Can I see it? Where's your money? What you want for it? I'll let you have it for $2. Just $2? Shucks, I could buy that when I get my pay. I'll have it here when you want it. All right, sir. I'll be in for it. He went through the door, hearing it slam behind him. I'm gonna get some money from Mom, buy me a gun. Only $2? He tucked the thick catalog under his arm and hurried. Where you been, boy? His mother held a steaming dish of black-eyed peas. Oh, Ma, I just stopped down the road to talk with the boys. You know you're better to keep supper waiting. He sat down, resting the catalog on the edge of the table. You get up from there and get to the well and wash yourself. I didn't feed no hogs in my house. She grabbed his shoulder and pushed him. He stumbled out of the room and then came back to get the catalog. What's this? Oh, Ma, it's just a catalog. Who you get it from? From Joe down at the stove. Well, that's good. We can use it in the outhouse. Nah, Ma. He grabbed for it. Give me my catalog, Ma. She held on to it and glared at him. Quit hollering at me. What's wrong with you? Are you crazy? But Ma, please, it ain't mine, it's Joe's. He told me to bring it back to him tomorrow. She gave up the book. He stumbled down the back steps, hugging the thick book under his arm. When he had splashed water on his face and hands, he groped back to the kitchen and fumbled in a corner for the towel. He bumped into a chair, it clattered to the floor. The catalog sprawled at his feet. When he had dried his eyes, he snatched up the book and held it again under his arm. His mother stood watching him. Now, if you're gonna act like a fool over that old book, I'll take it and burn it up. No, Ma, please. Well, sit down and be still. He sat down and drew the oil lamp close. He thumbed page after page, unaware of the food his mother set on the table. His father came in, then his small brother.